Before we dive into this incredible HFY sci-fi story, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Your support helps bring more epic tales of humanity's courage against the stars. And don't forget, share this video with a friend who loves sci-fi as much as you do. Picture this. Marcus stared at his phone screen for the 10th time that day, sighing as he swiped through dating profiles that all seemed exactly the same. Another weekend alone, another romantic disappointment to add to his growing collection. At 28, he'd already lost count of how many disastrous dates he'd endured. Conversations that started with excitement and ended in awkward silence. Maybe I should just adopt 10 cats and accept my fate, he muttered, throwing himself onto his messy apartment couch. That's when he decided to do something completely different. Instead of his usual serious, well-behaved profile, he created something absolutely ridiculous. He posted a photo of himself holding a toy sword he'd bought at a comic convention and wrote in his bio, "Earth Warrior seeks companion for epic battles against the forces of evil. Experience in intergalactic combat will be considered a plus. At least I'll have some fun with this," he thought, posting the profile and completely forgetting about the app. 3 days later, his phone buzzed with a notification. Match. Curious, he opened the app and found a profile with no photo, just a name, Zelda Sorren. The description was even weirder than his. Warrior princess from a distant realm. Expert in energy blade combat and advanced military tactics. Seeking brave earthling for strategic alliance. Marcus laughed out loud. Finally, someone who got the joke. He sent a message. Princess, this humble warrior is at your service. When can we meet to discuss this alliance? The reply came immediately. Meet me at Central Park near the fountain at 8 p.m. I'll be wearing a blue cloak. Don't be late, earthling. This girl is hilarious, Marcus thought, already imagining some fun cosplayer who finally shared his nonsense humor. On the appointed day, he arrived at the park punctually at 8 p.m. looking for someone in a blue cloak, probably a coat or something. What he saw left him completely speechless. Near the fountain stood the most stunning woman he'd ever seen in his life. Tall, with silver hair that seemed to shimmer under the streetlights, she wore what could only be described as a futuristic battlesuit in metallic blue. What caught his attention most were her eyes, a deep violet that seemed to contain entire galaxies. "You must be Marcus," she said, approaching with a grace that seemed to defy gravity. "I am Zelda, Princess of Sorren." Marcus blinked several times, trying to process what he was seeing. Hi, Zelda. Well, your costume is incredible. Must have cost a fortune." Zelda tilted her head, looking confused. "Costume? This is my standard battle attire. You are not properly equipped, earthling." "Earthling?" Marcus laughed nervously. "Okay, you really took this roleplay seriously." "I admire that. Roleplay?" Zelda frowned, her perfectly arched eyebrows. "Marcus of Earth, you posted a request for a warrior companion. I responded because my planet is at war with the Krex Empire, and our oracles prophesied that salvation would come from a warrior of a distant world called Earth." Marcus started to laugh, but stopped when he noticed the absolute seriousness in her violet eyes. "Wait, are you being serious?" In response, Zelda extended her hand, and a brilliant blue energy blade materialized in her fingers. Marcus stepped back, jaw dropping. "Holy! You're actually real?" "As real as the 50 Krex warships approaching my solar system at this very moment," Zelda replied, deactivating the energy sword. "When I saw your profile, I knew I had found the warrior of the prophecy. An earthling who understands the arts of war and does not fear combat." Marcus looked down at his own clothes, jeans, sneakers, and a Superman t-shirt. "I think there's been a misunderstanding. I'm not actually a warrior. I work in IT. The only battle I've ever fought was against code bugs." Zelda studied him intensely, then smiled, a smile that could illuminate entire solar systems. "Interesting. In our world, bugs are parasitic creatures that infect our computational systems. You have faced these beasts?" "Well, in a way, yes." "Excellent." Zelda clapped her hands, and the sound echoed strangely, as if it had crossed dimensions. "And you bear the symbol of Superman, a legendary warrior known throughout the galaxy." Marcus looked at his t-shirt, incredulous. Superman is known across the galaxy? Of course! The stories of Kal-El of Krypton are studied in military academies across 20 different systems. A true warrior of light. Zelda moved closer to him, her eyes shining with what seemed like genuine admiration. Marcus of Earth, you may not know it yet, but you possess the heart of a warrior. I saw it in your profile, your humor in the face of adversity, your willingness to meet a mysterious stranger, your courage to be different. I was just trying to be funny. Humor is the greatest weapon against despair, Zelda said, gently touching his face with a hand that seemed made of starlight. On my planet, we say that only true warriors can laugh when facing the impossible. Marcus felt a strange sensation that his life was about to change completely. And if I accept this strategic alliance? Zelda smiled again, and this time Marcus was certain he could see stars dancing in her eyes. Then you will become my partner in the greatest adventure this galaxy has ever known. We will fight side by side, travel across the cosmos, and perhaps— She hesitated, a slight blush coloring her silver cheeks. Perhaps we'll discover that some alliances can transform into something much deeper. Marcus took a deep breath, looking at this impossible warrior princess who had appeared in his life through an absurd dating app. You know what, Princess Zelda of Sorren? I think I've finally found someone who exceeds my expectations. Then you accept? Marcus smiled, feeling a courage he never knew he possessed growing in his chest. I accept. But first you need to teach me how to use one of those energy swords. Zelda laughed, a sound like celestial music, and extended her hand to him. It will be my pleasure, my Earth warrior. And so began the most unlikely love story between a clumsy programmer from Sao Paulo and a warrior princess from beyond the stars, proving that sometimes true love is literally out of this world.